Hello. You want to know what? This is extremely embarrassing that I've been streaming for. How long have I been streaming for? About 10 minutes, and I did not have my audio on. Okay. Seems like we have audio now. So let's keep it moving. So once again, I apologize for everyone who's realizing now that the audio was missing. What we are building. Oh, hold on. Let me fix this. Damn. Okay, that's better. I realized we didn't have the audio on. So basically what I'm building is, let's get out of this. I've taken the default list application that comes with Ionic. I'm going to use the list, but I'm going to add a modal to allow you to add items. And then I'm going to, I'll see what I do after that. Like I said, I really only wanted to do about 30 minutes and well, I've actually been live 20 minutes. So I'm probably going to end up doing about an hour altogether to get the things done that I want to get done. So hopefully this is better. So where were we? We were trying to add our modal, but we realized we need all of the default Ionic components to be added. So let me take these default components and add them to the modal. The good thing is the tools that I'm using will tell me which components I don't need anymore. So I'll just drop them all in and let it complain about the ones that I don't need. Content is not defined. So now I have the components. Now let me get the imports, and the same thing. My tool will let me know which imports I don't need. So for me, I just take them all and drop them in. And so now I go back to my modal and let's drop in all of them. And then let's see. So I don't need my list, don't need refresher, don't need content, don't need message item list, and don't need modal. So then now I come up here and just remove the ones that I don't need also. All right, so now let's see what my modal looks like. Why is my modal not showing any of my changes? Let's refresh. Oh, I did not import my modal into my other page. So let's go to home view, and you see where I have my modal with just the modal. Here, let's add my new modal, which is called a modal. So now I have a modal, and what's it complaining about? Element is missing end tag in a modal. So let's go to a modal. Content, oh yeah, I need to end my page. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's see if we get our modal showing. All right, our modal showing now is what I wanted. So let's remove this. This is my input modal. So now we have my input modal. So there but our cancel is not doing anything. So if we look at the way our modal is rendered here, our modal is rendered when this add item modal info show me is set to true. And so that's this guy right here. So the interesting thing is that Ionic documentation has a on, I think it's actually, let me look at the doc so I get it right. It is, how do you close a modal? I believe it is on did dismiss. No, here's what we're going to do. We are going to emit an event. That's what we're going to do. We're going to emit an event. And so the way to emit an event is we're going to just do this. We're going to say, we're going to create our own custom event. Modal canceled. And when it's canceled, we're going to set our data to null. All right. So now we're going to have a function that is called when a modal is canceled. And so let's go in here and create our modal MODAL CANCEL. Okay, and so we're going to get the event that gets tricked. And since we're using TypeScript, we'll just say any right now. And then we'll console log it. Console log event. So we can see what comes back. And then to hide our modal, we just need to set the same way here to show it. We set it to true. To close our modal, we're going to set it to false. So show me is false. All right, so now we have that in place. So this function gets called. Let me put this comment in here. Called to close the in response to event emitted. Okay. So let's save this. Let's go close modal. What's it complaining about? Property close. Oh. Methods. Sorry, it's modal canceled. I don't know if I want my event and function the same name. It gets, let's say modal cancel. Let's name it something that's going to make sense. Handle modal canceled. Okay, so now let's come down here and rename this guy to handle modal canceled. So now our function's in place. We should drop in here and log this event. Let's switch how I render this so you can see. Let's put our console log at the bottom so you can see the messages coming back. For some reason, when I try to get that corner, here we go. So, all right, message. Let's get back home. So, but now I have to actually emit the event from my modal. So with this new kind of setup function, I think you get props passed in the first one, but we don't care about that. I think what we want in the next one is context. And I forgot. Let's just, once again, I'm just going to define these as any to keep it simple. I think this is gonna, can I do this? Oh shit, TypeScript's gonna complain about all these. So let's do this. Props, any, and then context is any. And what we'll do is we'll console log props. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use context. And I believe that off of context, I get an emit. So let's see, context dot. Let me check the doc or my doc to make sure. Login. I don't know all this stuff off the top of my head, and I don't subscribe to people who feel they need to memorize this stuff, because there's no need to memorize it if you can find it in the documentation, which is what I'm doing now. So I go look in the doc, I just look at my modal, and yes, it's props, and then the other joint you get here is actually the type is setup context. And what is that? Setup context. I want to use a TypeScript file. Oh, sorry, this isn't a TypeScript file. Thank you. So I can remove this, and I can remove this. All right, and so from my context, I actually get the emit. So what I can say now is, when you want to cancel, I can say context EMIT. See, I'm getting my emit. And I need to say the name of the event that I'm emitting and the payload. The payload when you cancel is null because I'm not sending anything back. But the event that I'm emitting is, where's my cancel? Where's my cancel? Is this guy. So if I come back to my modal, when I cancel a modal, I'm going to emit this modal canceled event with no payload. The other thing that I want to do at the top is to make sure that when the modal gets dismissed any other way, that I handle that event. But I don't think it should matter, because here in the mobile application view, the modal takes up the whole page. So I just did it faster than I wanted to. So now excuse me. So now you can see over here, when I click add, my modal appears. When I click cancel, my event gets emitted. You can see here, my cancel modal was called. And then if I look at my home page, you can see that my handle modal was called with the payload, and the payload was nothing. But what we want to do is we actually want to use it to get some input data. And if I look at what they have here, they basically have, actually, I think I can look at their data. So their message data is a from name, a subject, a date, and an ID. So I think that we should be able to quickly throw, do I want all that crap? Let's see, let's go to our modal, our input modal, our title. Here's our full screen, here's our content. I think we can quickly throw these fields in here. See if I got something I can just cut and paste in and then build on. That's what we're gonna do. So we have our from, and then we're just gonna use the exact values from name, and then we're gonna just cut and paste this multiple times. So we have our from name, which we already used. We have our subject. So from name, subject. I can't spell. Subject, date, and subject, date, string. That's not right. We'll generate an ID ourselves, but I think the other thing that we want is the body. Let me say body, and we're going to change this. Let's change this to body. Let's change this to date. We can keep that text. Let's, I think we want to change this to the Ion text area. Okay, Ion text area. And then let's create our form info object, which, remember, now we're using this setup approach, so we need to make it a ref. So we're going to say const, what is it called? Form info ref. We're going to say the type is, there's no types here, so I can just say that. And then we're going to say null. We need to import the ref from Vue. Here's Vue. I did not import Vue anywhere. Let's go to home. So import ref from Vue. Form info starts out as null, and so, but form info needs to get passed, so I gotta go down here and set it in my return. Form info, object is possibly null, so let's not make it null. Let's start it out with that. But it's saying date does not exist on type. So now I gotta lay out my whole type here. So subject, I'm gonna set our subject to blank, our date to blank, our body to blank, and I think the last name is from name. Blank. Let's see what we get. Body, date, so what's from name? Okay. Let's see if we get something that looks better. Oh, so we got it from subject, date, body. Let's see if I can enter some text. I don't think that that's the look I was looking for. Oh, I messed up again. You gotta import everything. So Ion Okay, blocks. Ion input, ion date. I was complaining. Oh. Ion input, ion date, ion label. We got to add these down in the bottom. Oh yeah, let's is this ion date? I think it's ion date time. Well, all right, that's better. Get my ion date time, subject from body. I need to add rows on that. So to get more room out of your text area, it has an attribute called rows. And let's add 6. See, so now we get a little bit more space out of that. This is Grammarly that I'm using, so that's what's complaining. So I cancel just closes with nothing. Let's format this again. And so now everything's formatted. Just so that we kind of talk through what's happening here. I've created this object. Where did it go? Where did it go? Let me put some comments here. Form fields saved here. Called to cancel modal. No info returned. What we want to do is when you save, so let's create another one. Save modal. Called to save modal. Info returned. So when you save the modal, let's say save clicked, modal saved, we're going to create another event. And we're going to return our form info. But the important thing is that because you are in, because it's a ref, because our form info is a ref, you have to access it using the value. So we say form info dot value, and then we're going to destructure it to get all the values passed through. And then now it's complaining. It says we need to assign save modal to something. So let's give it a nice big button. So at the bottom here, we'll do an ion button. Ion button, save modal. So now we save the modal on my ion button. We have to handle the click event. So on click, we want it to call save modal. Let's push the save modal out. So we got to come down here and make sure we return our save modal. So now the idea is that we have our form that's being displayed. We're getting all the data using the V model. It's binding the form data. So we get the name, the subject, the date, blah, blah, blah. If the user clicks the save button, save modal button, I don't like the way that looks. What is this? Is it like expand? Oh, what are the values? Full. Let's try full. Not reload that. Oh, didn't get my full. Display full. All right, there you go. Let's put some padding around here and content full screen full. And let's do class. Some padding now. Let's see what we get. All right, so we got the modal. Let's put a little bit of space at the top of this button. Yeah, let's just leave it. So when I click to save modal, I actually am going to use the context that I got, emit a modal saved event, and pass the form data back. And so now let's go back to our home page. Right now it's only handling a modal canceled. Hello, Paul. Thanks for joining. For folks who are joining, we've just, let me just go back. We just took, this as the default Ionic list project. We've added a modal to it. In the modal, we're capturing form data. We're showing how to render a modal in the template using the ion modal command, and we're just kind of render the modal in the template. We're also showing how to fire custom events. So we already have a modal canceled event, and now we're adding the modal save event. On cancel, we are ignoring the data that gets passed back. On saved, we want to work with the data. So our modal saved, handle modal saved. Let's create our function handle modal saved. Modal cancel, let's just copy. Called to close the modal in response to a save event emitted. This is in response to a canceled. So handle modal saved. First of all, you want to once again set the hide the modal, but we're going to do something with the data here. So let's first just set a breakpoint here. Actually, we're going to dump the event so you can see the data that's coming back. It's complaining I didn't ion item. Where did I not include ion item? Let's go back to my modal. I didn't include ion item. And then go down here and add an ion item. Okay, let's reload this, see if we get a better, because I hate having all those errors down there. Okay, let's show my modal. Doesn't have a text area. Ion text. Actually, I'm not sure if that's how you spell it, so let's put in the imports first. Ion text area. So now we have our ion text area. And so that means okay. Bring that down here. Our ion text area in. Reload this. Okay, no errors. Now let me click the add. Okay, add's good. Let's enter some data. This doesn't matter at this point. Let's bring this down so you can see the date picker showing up. Change my date. Done. Body. This is body. Save modal. And then if it handled my event properly, right? So see, I'm getting all my data back from my modal, and my modal's closed. The let me expand this some more. You can see here inside the debugger that on my handle saved, I log the event, and then I get the, actually I'm logging the payload that came back. And so the payload that comes back on the saved modal is all the data that I want to insert into my record, my database, or whatever. So my form is capturing the data and returning the data. If I go to add and I enter some data here, select my date, done, and then I hit cancel, you'll see that when we come back, let's open this up again, I got no data because I didn't pass any data back on the payload, but my dialog still was hidden. So that is, hey, can you commit more often so we can see the steps in the source code? Hold on, you mean, okay, yeah, I get you. Eesh. I think it will be hard this time since I am not committing. But I will probably stop at this point and go live tomorrow. Actually, you guys can hear me. Why am I typing? I'll probably stop at this point and I'll go live tomorrow to show how to add it to the list and how to update the data source. So, and then what I'll do is I'll commit the code from today so that you can follow along with this. You'll see the commit, and then I'll start tomorrow from that commit to do the additional work, and then you can see the commit from there. Hopefully that's helpful, but I'll keep that in mind in the future. I never thought about that. So hopefully that will be helpful for you. So we're getting our data back. What is this other line? So the other line on the field is, all right, so we have our modal working. Add, we can save or we can cancel. So that's doing what we wanted to do. Well, let me just make sure I answered your question. Did I answer that last question correctly about what I'm going to do with the commits so you can follow along in the future? Just type something in the chat so I know that you understand what I'm saying. And I'm going to kind of continue to move along here. Let's do one more thing just to kind of really beat a dead horse with this with the inclusion of the, where am I going? I'm back at home. With the inclusion of modals and alerts inside of your form. So we're gonna basically copy this modal. So this is the input modal. And then what we're going to do down here is we're going to say confirmation toast. Right? And the cool thing about that is, I don't know about you guys, but I hate typing new stuff. So I can just go directly to the Ionic documentation. Let's pull this over so you can all kind of see my secret. And I just will search for toast. Not toad, toast, Ionic toast. I don't want that one. I want the other one. We want the Ionic documentation on toast. Make sure we are set here to view. Am I in toast? Yeah, I on toast. Button, click toast, page. See, so once again, this is the controller way, which I don't like. I think this is just way too confusing. I just prefer to just put it in my template. It's clearer to me. It's easier to read. So we're going to create our confirmation toast here. And then this is going to be, we're going to follow the same pattern that we did here with our modal for information. No, the same pattern we did. Where is it? My modal info. We're going to say alert. Alert info. And so what we'll do is we'll say alert info. Here's my alert. Alert info is open. And we have the property show me. And then we're going to say alert info message. And then we're going to, down here, if it gets dismissed by someone clicking on it, we'll just say alert info, show me, assign it to false. And that should hide the alert. And then also we have to bind this message here since we needed to kind of interpret this value. It's complaining because it doesn't know what message is. Let's add message down here. And we'll set it to blank. Let's also add a comment here so people know what's going on. Info for displaying the alert. Info for displaying the modal. Okay. So what we want is after a cancel. So basically we're going to use this toast to give you some feedback after you either cancel your modal or add a new item to your list. And so the way that we're going to do that is, let's go down here and on handle modal cancel, we'll just say display toast. And then we'll say this dot, where's my alert info? Actually, let's do it this. We'll say show me is equal to true. And then the message is user canceled input. And then when they didn't cancel it, when they save it, we'll go down here and actually the show me should be false. Show me should be, oh no, show me should be true. My bad. Show me is true. Actually, we don't need a confirmation here. We're going to save this alert for, so what's missing here is step to save to database, which we're going to cover in another live stream maybe tomorrow. So if the database save is success, then you want to say user input saved. But right now, we're just getting it back. And so yeah, we'll just show it for now, but ideally, what should happen is you wouldn't want to display a toast until after you actually saved it to the database. But just so that we know that everything's fine, let's kind of test out our, oh, I almost forgot again. I just added this Ionic alert, so I need to add the alert here, Ion. So let's add Ion alert as an import. Now it's complaining that it's not used anywhere, so let's add Ion alert down here. Ion alert component hasn't been registered, but it's not alert, it's toast. Let's go back up here and add Ionic toast. So alert, this should be toast. So now we have Ionic toast, so let's see what we got. Let's add, let's cancel, user canceled input, add, let's actually get some data in here. User input saved. So we get the feedback. Let's try, can I, where is my, what else do I have on here? Yes, I can set my color on my toast. So that's just gonna be a cheap way that what we're gonna do is, we're gonna allow you to set the color. So this way when it's canceled, you can pass red or danger, I believe it would be. So where's my canceled? So here we're going to say color think danger should work. What's complaining? Type show me. Where is it? Type show me. Alert info. Okay, so now we are adding the color. Hey, nomadic investor, appreciate seeing your flow. Sub, my biggest hurdles are almost every open source example in TypeScript instead of just something new to learn how to do. This code is not in TypeScript in the modal. Yeah, this in the modal it's not TypeScript. And also, just to let you know, in the book that I'm writing, I'm not using TypeScript either for exact same reason. And I have two other templates posted in my GitHub repo that are not in TypeScript either. So check them out, and hopefully that will be helpful. Out on. Okay, so this alert info, colors added. Let's see, do we get now? So this alert info, show me what required type. Oh, I need to set my color. So color is danger, and down here, let's say color is primary. I don't know. Let's see what we get. So add, cancel. So on the cancel, we get the red. On the add, since I'm not doing any form checking, on the save, we get the normal primary color. So that's pretty dope. What else can I quickly do that's just input based, since I want to save the data stuff for later. And as you know, someone asked, you can see I have my changes here. So I'll do this commit with just this information so that we don't get carried away. What else do I want to do? We have our form. We'll do some simple form validation right now. We won't really go too deep into it. We'll just do a basic check for null. So let's do it on the save. Oh, no, actually, here's what we can do. Let's show how to do a computed property. See if this works. So I'm winging it now. Computed. Is this right? Hold on, let me. Where am I? I'm doing this to setup style, so hold on. Let me make sure that I'm saying the right way how to do this. So let's look at my view. Let's bring this over here. Look at my VueJS org. Look at my view 3. Come on. Get started. Computed properties and watchers. So this is the data. My view 3. Computed caching versus methods. Computed setter watchers. Watch data. View 3. I thought there would be a. Let's see if we go down to composition API, setup lifecycle hooks. Computed and watched. Okay. Here you go. This is what we're doing since we're inside of a setup. So what we do is we go down here and we say const disable save equals this, and then we're going to return the disabled save button. So now we need to return some function here. And so all we're going to do is we're going to say if forminfo dot value dot subject 1, 2, 3 equals blank, or, and so this is what we're going to do. Subject date body from name. So we're going to move all these guys. So if, what's that doing? Then turn true, else turn false. Okay. Do disable save. So let's try this approach. So now let's put this disabled on our button. Where's our save modal? Disabled equals disable save. Let's see what we get now. So my save modal is disabled because I don't have anything. Let's put some data in. And now it's active again. So that's just a simple way to do it. I mean, there's other tools you can do for form validation to make sure that it's correct. But now we have a simple way to save. So I'm going to, where are we now? We are at about, then we've passed an hour. So I think this might be a good place to stop. As someone mentioned, I'll commit this code as the breakpoint for the stream, and I will upload the source code and the project to GitHub and put the link in with this post. Thanks for everyone who stopped by. This was I just wanted to get some content out today, and I don't usually watch football to the second half anyway, so I'm going to sign off now and watch the. Oh, before I sign off, I gotta. You always need to make sure that you peddle your goods, and so I'm going to peddle my goods, which is my VueJS book. This is my VueJS book. I strongly encourage you guys to check out this URL. Please give me some feedback on the book, specifically feedback around the pricing on the book. If you come, even if you just put 0 and you put your email address on there, what will happen is that you will get updated when the book is released. It's my intention to probably drop 2 chapters next week for free, just as a preview to get some more excitement and engagement around the book. So keep an eye out for that. And like I said, I'll probably be on tomorrow. I will schedule it ahead of time, and we will go through the rest. Let me close this out. We will go through the rest of this application. And so what I want to do now is just kind of a preview, give you something to look forward to. Right now, all the messages are just kind of preloaded from this array. And what we want to do is we want to put the messages in this array so that they will display in the list. Or if I'm feeling really ambitious, maybe tomorrow we'll jump to Firebase, and maybe we'll just save all this stuff in Firebase. But the idea is to create these records, have these records display here, and then show you how we're pulling back the data to display here in this list box. Hey, thanks everyone for stopping by. Hopefully the information on how to use a modal to save data, how to render modals, how to render toast, you guys found helpful. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're not already subscribing to the channel, and I will see you next time. Later. Bye.